What is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And yeah, I'm very, very, very upset, pissed off. The emotions are going right now. I didn't know how I was going to handle the situation of this game. Obviously, it's a very, very tough loss. We lost the game 22-10. The referees are fucking pieces of shit. Just gonna say that right now because that was clearly a fucking recovery by Green Bay, and they gave it to Philadelphia, even though they fucking went through the replay and you could clearly see that Nixon got the freaking recovery. And it was helmet to helmet. He lowered the head, so it should have been a penalty by by that alone. But yeah, guys, this is the Green Bay Packers Wildcard Beast recap show. Final recap show of the year because we did lose, as we just said. Yeah, I give it to our defense. Our defense, they held it for a long time. 10 points. The Eagles only committed 10 points at the end of the first half. We missed a field goal, obviously, too, right before the half. So, yeah, there was a lot of problems. But I got to tell you right now, that first play, and some people are going to oh, well, we had enough time to do shit. That first play really ruined us, okay? They got a touchdown on a short field. We were trapped from the get-go. We put a lot of pressure on our defense, and I give a hell of a lot of credit to our defense because our defense kept us essentially in the game. So, there was that. So I was obviously happy for that. But, that really set the tempo, and that they gave them that. Referees, I don't care. And I've been saying this since high school, okay? I have old videos of talking to my boy, the Rainy 48, about this when we did our old pick game back in the day. This is years before Beast Picks. When we used to just do picks. Well, technically it's considered a different show, but it was, on this channel. But I've been saying it for years, going back to high school. These referees should be fined for bad calls. And I'll continue saying it until I die. Every goddamn time, these referees make terrible calls, and they're never held accountable for fucking anything. And it really fucking pisses me off. It really does. The players get held accountable. Why do the referees not get held accountable? And I know they're going to give some stupid fucking answer saying, oh, there was not enough evidence or whatever, even though we can clearly fucking see it. Every analyst fucking said it was the Packers' ball. Anybody with a brain cell knows it was the Packers' ball. Okay? It was a clear recovery. The Packers Nixon clearly had it in his hands. Clear recovery. You can clearly see it. And once he has it in his hands, that's it. That play is dead once you have it in your hands. So him taking it out, that's fucking irrelevant. That's not how the rule works. But again, it should have been a penalty, using the crown of the helmet, People are saying, well, he's a runner, but he used the crown of the helmet, which you can't do. So, yes, it was a penalty. But, we did have our chances. I'm not saying that we didn't, but that play just set the tone. The Eagles getting that freebie right away, getting the touchdown right off the bat after that. On the short field, that really just trapped us for most of the game. I give a ton of credit to our defense, because our defense tried our best. We contained Saquon for a long time. I think in the first half he only had He had like maybe like 30 yards or something like that at the end of the first half. The defense was doing really good on Saquon, and they were doing good on Julian Hurts. Um, it's just so frustrating, especially. And again, Jordan Love didn't show up like in terms of when he needed to show up. 3 INTs, one the one he gave away to the linebacker was just devastating. That was like in the second half. Um, you know, to bring up the whole Brett Favre thing. That's what everyone keeps bringing up, but Brett Favre wasn't throwing interceptions like that. Well, I mean, I guess he was, but for some of the games. But in a game like this, in a game that's this close like this, I mean, you can't throw the interceptions. It was a chess match game. The defense had it low scoring. You gotta be careful with the ball. And of course, we didn't have Christian Watson. Jaden Reed went out with a bad injury. Romeo Doubs went out actually earlier. I think Romeo Doubs might have a neck injury. I don't know if he has a concussion. I don't know if they ever even said it on the television, if I'm remembering correctly. But Jaden Reed doesn't look good. He was holding his arm. I think it might be a collarbone injury based on the way he's holding it. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying the way he's holding it kind of reminded me of how Charles Woodson held it in the Super Bowl years ago. So it kind of looked like something like that, but I don't know because they didn't give an update on that. Maybe at the time of this video that people are watching this are probably going to update me on that. But I mean, it's just not good. I mean, it's not good enough. Josh Jacobs, who also actually couldn't finish the game, he also got injured in this game. He was our best offensive player in this game, bar none. He got a lot of yards on the screen. He got runs. And of course that big run that we got that set up our first touchdown that he ultimately got. Definitely our best offensive player, but we got to play better on we got to play better on offense. These key games, you have to, especially when your defense is bailing you out. Defense was bailing Jordan Love out by containing Philadelphia as long as they could. You got to capitalize on that, and he couldn't do it. Jordan Love ended the day with 212 yards passing, and he had 3 INTs, 3 interceptions. You can't win a game with the turnover. If you're losing the turnover value, 95% of the time you're not going to win the game. And there's a small chance you'll still win if you lose the turnover battle, but typically when you lose the turnover battle, 95% of the time, if I'm believing correctly, the percentages is 95% of the time, you're most likely going to win or lose the game when you're losing the turnover battle. So you can't do that. Questionable play calling by Matt in this game. When we were in a critical 3rd down in 3, with 6 minutes left or whatever, this was really our last chance. We're down by 2 scores. They called a running play. This was not to Josh Jacobs. This was to Emmanuel Wilson. No gain. And then on 4th down, of course, as we all know, he threw it to number 18, Heath, and he was out of bounds, and it was turnover on downs. That's terrible play calling. The 3rd down should have been the pass. 3rd down should have been a pass, and 4th down probably should have been a pass if it would have been incomplete. Some calls like that. There were some play calls that we made in this game where it was just like, why are we running the ball, here? We need to pass the ball. Couldn't get it done. Let's see what was the rushings for Josh Jacobs had 18 yards rushing for 18 attempts. Leading rusher. Wicks had 2 receptions for 39 yards. Jaden Reed, 4 receptions for 46 yards. Josh Jacobs had 3 receptions for 40 yards receiving. Romeo Doubs had 2 receptions for 13 yards. Tucker Kraft had 5 receptions for 26 yards. Also, Tucker Kraft had some key runs, too. He had a big run. He had a big monster run on the tush push, the first one, since they can't do that with Jordan Love. I like the tight end tush push, where you think it's going to go to the court, where you have the shotgun and then you do motion the tush push with the tight end. I did like that because obviously Jordan Love can't really do that with the way his body format is. You got to kind of give it to a bigger guy, and they went to Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft was successful twice on that. Again, he's 2 attempts for 10 yards rushing, and most of that was from the first tush push, where he kept going even after the first down. Yeah, we did also have a sack too. Woody and McDuffie had a half a sack, and then Gray had 1 sack. Yeah, I mean, to win this game, we needed to be perfect, and we were not. We got cheated, obviously, in the first play, but by the fucking stupid ass refs. But which, by the way, I was drinking a lot of water after that one because I was not happy. You don't even want to know what I was doing after that stupid play, that bullshit play. No, not as worse as the Fail Mary. Fail Mary was the worst one. I had to drink 5 waters after that one, after the Fail Mary, because it was bad. After that one, that was the worst one of them all because of those stupid scab refs. But anyways, I just want to look at this here. So here's the thing. Jalen Hurts had 2 touchdown passes for 131 yards passing, which is probably a low for him. He's coming back first time in 3 weeks. Saquon Barkley only had 119 yards. He ended up getting over 100 towards the end there. But on 25 attempts, and I think, and I don't know for sure because this right here doesn't break down the sheet of how many yards he had in the first half. But I think he had around 35 yards rushing at the end of the first half by our defense, which I thought was a huge win for us to stop and contain Barkley the way they did. But yeah, I mean, it's just a devastating loss. And again, we have a lot of people injured. I've been saying it for years. We need a receiver. I know if my boy, the reigning 48, Kyle, is watching this, he'll be liking that. He started that whole thing. But we do need a receiver. We really do. Because we took a lot of injuries in here. I mean, if we had won this game, there's a possibility we would have probably been thin on receivers. I do think we need to draft a receiver in the first round. Enough of this, we're going to try to get him in the second round bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We need to give a key guy to Jordan Love, which we needed to do for Aaron Rodgers years ago, but we refused to do that. Especially after Devontae Adams left. We need a guy who's going to be like an elite wide. We need to draft an elite receiver. I know it's a gamble always with receiver, but we need to do that. Enough of this waiting bullshit. Every time it's always we draft people on the defensive side. We have a good defense. If we keep a lot of these players in for next year, We have good guys on defense. We need a receiver. We need to develop a receiver in the first round. We need to draft a receiver in the first round. And we need to develop him as being the go-to guy for Jordan Love. Jordan Love needs a go-to wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers needed that. They always kept getting rid of his receivers all the time. We need to do that. Enough of this bullshit of not drafting skill positions in the first round, thinking that we can just get low-round draft picks all the time. Like that always is going to work. Because that doesn't always work. Yeah, they're good receivers that we have, but none of these guys, okay, I think are going to ever be in that top 5 conversation of top receivers. They're not going to be, the Chase or Higgins. It's not going to be, that go-to guy. The Flowers. Who else? Who else we got? Who else we got for a top receiver? Hill. Tyreek Hill also is another go-to receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like you need that guy. You need to draft that guy. If you believe he is that guy, if you believe that he's the go-to guy, you need to draft that guy. Okay? And I like the receivers. I like pretty much all the receivers we have. But, some of these guys, are not, like, going to be the true number one. I think, really, Christian Watson and, Jaden Reed, depending on what their injury situations are. But, again, are they really going to be that go-to guy, that go-to top 5 receiver out there? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I hope Jaden Reed is okay because he's our top receiver right now, but I think we really need a true number 1 receiver, and I don't think we have it right now. And that's the thing. Whether we're getting Devontae Adams back, maybe, I don't know. If he's available, but I think he's going to stay with the Jets if Aaron Rodgers doesn't retire. Because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is retiring. Whether he plays for the Jets, I don't know. But I think he's going to be a Jet again. Like I think people are kind of misconstruing this. I think he's going to still be a Jet, and I think he's going to be playing again. Devontae Adams has the leverage. And if Adams is only going to leave if Aaron Rodgers is either retiring or if they're trading him to another team. Because then it would be like, okay, we'll get out of this contract so then he can go play with Aaron Rodgers because that's what he's going to do. Adams is going wherever Aaron Rodgers goes if he's playing next year. And I know we're not supposed to be talking about other team players, but I just always like talking about Aaron because I like Aaron Rodgers. I hate how the media has vilified him. All because he said I'm immunized or whatever. That's literally the only reason why they're vilifying Aaron Rodgers. Make no mistake about it. But that's not here and there because Aaron Rodgers is not on our team anymore. But anyways, going through the rest of these stats, we say Milton got 1 reception for 16 yards, and there was a lot of inconsistent passes too by Love. There were a couple times where we could have made it closer if he had just thrown it in better, because a lot of times it was a little underthrown sometimes. I think I said Wicks already. Yeah. Jacobs did fumble it, but we recovered it. So we ended up getting a field goal on that. Yeah. It was a tough day at the office, let's just put it that way. The final score was 22-10. We could have made it a lot closer a couple of times, like I said. No turnovers, though. That's the one thing defense couldn't get was a turnover on them, on the Eagles' offense. But, again, the stops enough should have been able to help the Packers' offense get back into the game. But, unfortunately, that didn't happen. And, of course, there was the interception at the end for the last chance, possibly, when we were down by 2 scores, and that didn't happen either. So, but the Eagles only got 2 touchdowns the whole game on our Packers defense, which, by the way, the Packers, one of those touchdowns shouldn't have happened because obviously that fumble, that bullshit fumble. So really, when you look at it, we held them. They only had really one true touchdown that entire game in terms of driving the length of the field without, the refs helping them in that. But, yeah, guys, this is a tough season. Season's over, unfortunately. Look to the future, and we'll see what happens, guys. Make sure to comment, rate, if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell for the latest contents. Thank you. And to all my Packer subscribers here, thank you so much. This is my second year doing the recap show for the Packers. And obviously it's been, I think we've done the Beast Picks format for 3 years now. Our second run of our prediction shows. We did a prediction show back in the day, like I said earlier, but Beast Picks is only on its 3rd year as a regular NFL Beast Picks. I would like to expand with other things as well into the future, but I'll have to talk to the Reigning 48 about that, Kyle. But especially doing off-season stuff, which we have been saying that we were going to do, but then we never did. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to do that. But yeah, guys, that is it. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. Go Pack Go, guys, for next year. I'm out. Peace. Also, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Twitch, Instagram, all SS Ultimate Goku. Also, I do have Discord link in the description where we discuss various topics, including this one. YouTube tier lists as well for perks and stuff like that. If you're interested, check that out. And now I'm out. Peace.